Hello everyone, it's me 𝐂𝐩𝐢𝐜 𝐁𝐚𝐧𝐭. I'm back with a new video. तपाईं धेरैजनाले यो सिजोले एप्लाई गर्नु भएको छ, उहाँले सेम म त सुन्नु नै भएको छ साउथ इस्ट मिजोरी स्टेट युनिभर्सिटी. सो आज चाहिँ हामीले तपाईहरुसँग युनिभर्सिटी रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ लिएर आएको छु, जसले चाहिँ तपाईहरुलाई जसले गर्दा हामीबाट भन्दा पनि डाइरेक्ट युनिभर्सिटीबाटै तपाईले थाहा पाउनुहुन्छ के छ रिक्वायरमेन्ट, स्कलरशिपहरु के छ भनेर. सो वेलकम टु माय भिडियो म्याम. सर, so can you tell me about the location, about university, whether it's public or private, about some history?
Okay, sure. So Southeast Missouri State University, commonly called SEMO, was founded in 1873. It's in the Midwest of the United States, sort of right off of the major river, the Mississippi River. Couple hundred areas of study, couple hundred different student organizations. It is a large campus, lots of space, with great faculty, and I would say the most important thing is the faculty to student ratio is about 18-1. So students are in small classes, so they get a chance to work very closely with their faculty.
So it's a public university?
It is a public university, very proud, and it's one of the oldest universities west of the Mississippi River.
150 years old?
Yes, we just celebrated our 150th celebration.
And now talking about admission requirement, so what's the minimum academic grades student need to have for UG and PG?
All right, so for undergraduate, the minimum GPA that is admissible is 2.0 on a US 4.0 scale. So if you have a GPA of 2.0, then you will get admitted for an undergraduate level program. For graduate level, because the decision is made by the individual departments, different departments have different GPA criteria for admission. So there's not a standard GPA admission criteria for graduate. I will say that for for computer science and cybersecurity, which are our top graduate majors, 2.7 is the minimum GPA requirement. For MBA, I can tell you that 2.5 is the minimum GPA requirement. If you have anything little bit below 2.5, if you have a GRE and a GMAT, they will consider you for admission. So GRE in GMAT will supplement your profile if you have a low GPA. But generally, I would say 2.7, just taking an average across all the departments.
And what about English proficiency tests like IELTS, TOEFL,
Yes.
PG? How much for undergrad and how much for master's in English?
So we accept a variety of English proficiency tests. They are IELTS, TOEFL, ITEP, PTE, Duolingo, and SAT. So let's talk about the criteria for undergraduate. Before I talk about that, there are 3 levels of scholarship, right? Because sometimes the scholarship is also dependent on the GPA plus the English test score. So if you have a GPA of 2.5, that will automatically get you the $2,000 scholarship. You don't need to
Write an essay?
Yeah, so there's no score requirement, the English proficiency test score requirement. It's solely based on the GPA. So the next tier is the $6,900 scholarship, the IAA scholarship. That's for GPA of at least 3.25, and then IELTS 6.0, TOEFL 70, ITEP 3.8, PTE 50, Duolingo 100. So those are the English test minimum scores you need to get. So our highest scholarship is at the $8,000 level, the IAE scholarship for GPA of 3.75 and above. For that, you need to have IELTS of 6.5, TOEFL 79, ITEP 3.9, PTE 53, and Duolingo 110. Also, SATs is 1280 plus for IAE, the $8,000 scholarship, and 1,060 for IAA, the $6,900.
So that means if any student have more than 2.5 GPA and had got 5.5 on IELTS, they will be getting $2,000 scholarship.
2,000. Can I remind you, actually our rules have changed, which has not been finalized, which I will communicate to my office right away. So right now, the $6,900 scholarship is purely based on GPA of 3.25. No need to look at English proficiency.
So just having a 5.5 will also qualify?
Yes, will qualify for the 6,900. That's correct. That's correct.
So if anyone have got 5.5 in IELTS or Duolingo 90, PT 44,
PTE is 50.
No, for
For $2,000 and $6,900, you don't need any
so
minimum.
for the basic requirement is 44 for the admission.
For admission, that's a great question. Let me just check.
Yeah,
because
I think
that's
44. 5.5, 90, and PT is 44.
PTE is 45.
45.
Yeah.
So anyone, if you have got 5.5 in IELTS, Duolingo 90 or PT.
Duolingo 95.
Duolingo 95 now.
95.
Okay, so 95 now. Okay,
Yes.
new 95 on Duolingo, 5.5 on IELTS, or PT 45, and you got GPA more than 2.5 till 3.25, you get $2,000 scholarship, and if you got more than 3.25 GPA, you will be getting $6,900 scholarship. That's a very affordable one. And
Yes.
what about the intake?
So intake for international students, we only have two intakes, the fall intake and the spring intake. Fall intake starts in August, and spring intake is January. And do you want me to talk about the application deadlines?
Deadline, yeah.
For fall intake, the deadline is July 1st. However, for graduate programs, certain departments have earlier deadlines, like computer science and cybersecurity is March 1st. For spring intake, the regular deadline is November 1st, but the earlier deadline for computer science and cybersecurity graduate level is October 1st.
What about STEAM and non-STEAM course available in your university?
So our STEM, let me just pull up our top. I'll talk about the graduate level programs. So our top 5 graduate level programs are applied computer science, cybersecurity, tech management, biology, and nutrition and exercise science. So these 5 top majors are all STEM designated. There are some non-STEM designated programs that are also super popular among international students, also rising in popularity, especially from Bangladesh. Like
Even Nepal nowadays, like many students are asking about TESOL.
TESOL.
What about does student needs a working experience for MBA?
So MBA work experience will add to their profile, the student profile, if they have a low GPA, but it's not a mandatory thing for admission. Yeah.
And main thing is application charge. How much do you charge for the application?
Yes, so our application fee is $65 and it's non-refundable.
So it's also increased?
It
It
has been 65 for a year and a half.
65.
65. Yeah, it was $40, 45 earlier for a while.
65 now.
Yes, it's
So
65.
suppose student pays 65, and even if they need to defer, they don't have to pay.
They do not have to. They only pay one time. So if you have applied for undergraduate, if you need to defer, change your major, you do not need to pay application fee again. So it's just a one-time fee.
And like in terms of bank balance, so for undergrad, it's 45,000 is enough, right?
So even that much is, we don't need to see up to 45,000. I'll tell you. So
they do.
okay. But for admission purposes, we want to see a bank balance of 31,165 for undergraduate.
And for masters?
For graduate, you need about 23,190.
Okay.
Just to be very specific.
And is dependent available? To apply?
Yes, so you can add as many dependents as you want to your application, but if you're adding dependent, make sure you're also adding $2,000 for one dependent, then extra 1,000 for 2. Then it just keeps increasing 1,000 increment.
So any students who wants to apply SEMO, you just need passport, all the academic document from the class 10 to the latest one. English proficiency like IELTS, TOEFL, PT, Duolingo, or SAT. Then letter of recommendation will work fine, right? 2 letter of recommendation.
So let me just tell you something. So financial is there. I think the English proficiency test is there. Passport is there.
Academic document is there.
So academic documents, I wanted to say that for undergrad, you need 10, 11, 12 transcripts.
Yeah.
That's mandatory, 10, 11, 12. If you're applying for a graduate program, we only need to see your bachelor's documents. You do not need to submit your high school transcripts. So only bachelor's Like
So
post
and LOR are not compulsory. Letter of recommendation.
letters of that depends on the graduate program you're applying to. I know for biology you need 2 letters of recommendation. Yes.
What about undergrad?
For undergrad, yeah, it's not required for any undergrad application.
So, not what about hostel and all? So, what kind of facilities are available for the students in terms of games, different kind of club, hostel?
There is an almost unlimited supply in terms of things to do outside the classroom. I would say everything from cricket, which is immensely popular, obviously, with students from this area. Yay for the USA for making it through the T20 a little further. But we have students that do scuba diving. We have students that do all kinds of stuff outside the classroom. There's a variety of housing options, both on and off campus. We do require our students the first year to live on, but after that, they have options off campus if they want to pursue off campus. And then lastly, the other thing I'll say is there are a variety of opportunities to work either for the university or for companies that work through the university up to 20 hours a week that can help pay for some of your costs.
And one more thing. So, don't take me in any other negative way. Like, is it safe? Like, because there have been many gunfire cases we heard daily in the news.
Yes.
So, what do you say about this?
So I would say quite a few things. So I've lived in Cape. My daughter will be attending Southeast Missouri State this fall 24. My oldest went to 𝐂𝐸𝐜. I consider the city to be very safe. I consider the campus to be extremely safe. And during orientation, we talk about like the different safety things, the police department, all those kinds of the emergency call boxes. At the same time, I would also say people should be smart. They should travel in groups. They should know where they're going. But in terms of, I understand what you may see in the media that's happening in some large cities. The advantage of 𝐂𝐸𝐢𝐜 is it's a small city, a small community, and therefore we don't really have many of the problems you see in some of our larger cities.
And what do you suggest to the student? Like, after getting your visas, like, what are the other skills they should have? Like, a driving. So, what do you suggest? What should they have other skills besides having a degree? And like, what should they practice in Nepal before coming to USA? So, what I say usually student is, you need to have a driving, you need to have a cooking, and you need to have a swimming. That 3 things you need to have when you are going abroad.
That's great.
Swimming, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
My reason is that, like in Nepal, we didn't have big ocean. So students usually travel to ocean, and there have been many cases students have drowned. At least long.
I just helped 3 students from Nepal learn to scuba dive less than a month ago on campus. So I'm with you on the driving and the cooking, swimming. We can help them with that, particularly at 𝐂𝐸𝐜 because it's a long drive to the nearest ocean. But we have some pretty good aquatic space for them to practice swimming.
𝐂𝐸𝐜, you can also get swimming classes.
Yes.
You
And
get,
one more thing, like is university within the city or it's a bit outside from the main city area?
So it's actually positioned really well right next to our downtown. So it's in the 𝐂𝐸𝐢𝐜 in the city itself. But the city itself is about 50,000 people. So it's what we would consider a small city by U.S. standards. And the campus is so large that it's a city within a city. And much of the area around the campus is residential housing. So we don't have lots of problems with people coming onto campus that shouldn't be there because our faculty, staff, and students live right adjacent to our campus.
And what about local public transportation?
So there's a couple options. I would say 2 specifically. One is the university runs a shuttle system on the main campus, as well as something what we call wings, when in need, go shuttle, where we take our students to the local shopping and other areas. There is also a public transit called CTA, Cape Transit Authority, that you can take throughout the community. It is not as efficient as a subway you might find in a large city like Washington, D.C. or Chicago, but it does get students where they need to go. And then the third one is for students that need some kind of health care, the university arranges transportation to them if they need an off-campus physician's visit or something, we arrange transportation to and from them.
And just to add to what Bruce said, the wing shuttle is actually used by international students a lot, including the Nepali community. And I believe they take twice a week, but you have to check the website from 2 to 8 p.m. So it runs, and students are relying on that transportation to do their groceries, going to the malls, buying clothes.
And how big is Nepali community going there?
Nepali community is actually one of the largest and growing community in 𝐶𝐲. We have, I believe, 200 plus Nepali students on campus. So it's continuing to grow. We in the future also it will continue to grow. There is also a Nepalese student organization. NSA is very active. In short, it's called NSA. They also have a Facebook group page. And 2 years ago, I think they also won the Best Student Organization Award on campus. Yeah.
So anyone who is watching my video, तपाईको भिडियो हेर्नु भएको छ, like तपाईले युएस एप्लाई गर्न सोच्नु भएको छ, if you are looking for 𝐶𝐲, you just need is minimum 2.5 GPA, IELTS 5.5. The more you got a GPA and IELTS score, you will be getting a very good amount of scholarship. Even the application time is just around 14 days for a bachelor and 21 days for a master, right?
Yes, average.
Typically, besides few courses, everyone got I-20 on 14 to 21 days.
Yes.
So you can apply. You can start applying for Janintech. Can we file a points for now?
Yeah,
so
you
can start applying for Janintech, book a date, prepare for the interview, get a visa.
Yeah, Jan and fall 2025 intakes are both open.
And one more question, like suppose now you know that in Nepal students just finished their +2 exam and they are waiting for the result. Can a student apply with the projected marks?
Technically, you can. You can.
Suppose
because
student has got like in class 11 they got more than 3.2 GPA or more than 3 GPA. Even in class 10 they have done IELTS, TOEFL or PT or Duolingo. And if their school provide them a projected marks,
yes.
So can we file?
I don't encourage a huge number of applicants, from that pool filing. But yes, you can get admitted because we have done that for other countries as well, based on predicted 12 grades.
And you'll be having a pre-result of school also.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that saves time for the student,
because in terms of Nepal, you don't get a date.
Yeah.
So the one who is like in around 2 months, in around 60 days, they will be getting a result.
Yeah.
So if you can get a I-20 with the present marks, they can apply for Janintech. So even they will have a date, they will have everything ready for the Janintech. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, it's possible.
So anything you want to say to a student?
Well, our website is very detail oriented. So if you have any admission related questions, please refer to our website. If you need further, clarifications, you can always email international@ccmo.edu. I want to say that our international student population is growing. We have over 1,270 international students on campus right now. India, Bangladesh, Nepal are our top countries from where we get students from, but also a lot of African countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, Vietnam. We have also students from Europe. It's few number, but still, we get students from Canada as well coming to 𝐶𝐲. But we want to welcome you and all the best for your applications for 𝐶𝐲.
So, तपाईले कसैलाई बाइकले बुझ्न मन छ भने you can always contact me. That's it. Please do like, comment and share. Thank you everyone.